All right, welcome back everyone to another awesome episode of the GAMESMSU podcast. I am here with Safety Straw today, and we're going to be talking about their business, talking about them, and so we can get right into it. If you guys want to give a little introduction, talk about who you guys are, what Safety Straw is, and
Yeah, so I'm Jack Rushlow. I'm a senior here at Michigan State studying organizational communication. I graduate here Friday, so super excited for that. I'm the CEO, co-founder of Safety Straw, and I'll give it over to Marcy, and then we'll talk more about the business.
Yes, so my name's Marcy Creevy. I'm a graduating senior from Michigan State, studying communications, but I'm staying one more year to get my master's in communications next year. Chief Marketing Officer of Safety Straw. I joined the team in October, so we've been growing ever since.
heck yeah.
Yeah, so Safety Straw, we develop straws that change colors when drink spiking occurs. So imagine you go to a restaurant, bar, whatever, and you get a drink. It always has a straw in it. The goal is to have that straw be our straw so that your drink is monitored at all times, and if your drink is ever spiked, it'll change colors alerting you that your drink has been compromised.
Wow, yeah, that's really interesting. I learned about it. I saw you guys at the New Venture Challenge, and I talked to you, and to me, it just is literally mind-blowing that can be a thing now, and that it's just so cool. So we're super excited to have you guys on, and if you guys want to talk about like the origin story, like one, how did you come up with the idea of a color-changing straw, and two, like how do you actually make the straw change colors? Like, that's what everyone really wants to know.
Yeah, so it's pretty interesting. I have to shout out MSU, the entrepreneurship program here. We were attending, me and a group of my other friends, we were attending a 2-day venture. And it's 48 hours of you get assigned a team, you have an idea, and you bring that idea to market. And with those 2 days, we were handed an idea we didn't really like to work on, and we were just spitballing new ideas. And that first night, we went out, and then we went home. And my roommate, unfortunately, came home and he was directly affected by drink spiking. Didn't remember what happened that night, didn't remember people he was with. And the woman he was with, she had to go to the hospital to get her stomach pumped.
Wow.
And she didn't remember anything.
Yeah,
so
scary.
it was absolutely horrible. And I was just thinking, what resources are there out there for people that are affected by this? Is there any preventative measures? Because I know each liquor license location has to have some sort of liability insurance. But there wasn't really a product out there that seemed to fit the market and to help everyone out there. So I thought of a straw. What if a straw could change colors? Or what if a straw had like a meter in it or something like that? And kind of came up with the idea of a color changing straw that could detect these roofies. And kind of that's how the straw came about, and a little bit about like the team structure and how we kind of formulated things. Unfortunately, co-founder Zach, he couldn't be here today, but me and him grew up as family friends. We grew up in the same town. We knew each other.
Sorry,
Livonia, Michigan.
Oh, okay, nice. I'm not too far from there. So.
Yeah, so small little town. But it was really cool. We played Pee Wee sports together, so it was really cool. We knew each other for a while, and then kind of just progressed into MSU. We both went to MSU. It was pretty cool, and we were just talking about business. Like, what could we do for an idea? What could we do to pursue business? And this Safety Straw, previously worked on it for a little bit, and then my work picked up and everything kind of died down a little bit, and then talked to him about it, and we met an economic developer here in Lansing. And he's like, I can connect you guys with the state funding to get this formulated and to pay for your legal bills, stuff like that. So I talked to Zach and I'm like, dude, we got to run with this. This is a huge problem. This could be a huge business. This could be amazing. This could touch so many lives. So let's do it. And me and Zach pursued it a little bit, got everything formulated, the company, got some legal involved. And then we were like, all right, we need someone for marketing, right? I know sales. He knows supply chain. We need someone for marketing. And we were just like trying to go through students that were capable and stuff like that. So we then saw Marcy, all of her experience and everything, brought her on the team to run marketing, and she's doing a great job so far. So we're excited.
That's awesome. Yeah, when you were talking, I got goosebumps there. Just for a second. It is super cool. And there is like those products of like the plastic or like silicone ring you can put over a drink, but no one's gonna use that. That's so inconvenient. Like it just kind of stinks, I think. But the straw is, in my mind, it just makes so much sense. And like every single drink literally just has a straw anyway. Why wouldn't it be a color changing? It just totally eliminates that problem. It's just so smart to me. And was it during 2-day venture? So the first I competed in that last semester. Was it in the you did the first day of 2-day venture, went out that night, the problem happened, and then you had 2-day venture again the next day?
Yeah.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah, so we had like,
you should
I don't know.
The original idea, or the idea that you were given.
We were handed the idea of do you know those lawnmowers that they're like all electric? And you can kind of go on the app, program at like.
Oh, like a lawn mowing Roomba?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Literally that, but it was for dog poop.
Ooh.
Yeah. Yeah. It was something to pick up dog poop, and like it's a great idea, don't get me wrong, but I didn't want to go up in front of a crowd and pitch a poop product.
Yeah, that is that's definitely not as good as the safety straw.
Yeah.
But yeah, that is super cool. I did 2-day venture and I enjoyed it. It was cool. My team was awesome. Shout out to them. But they kept telling me to like develop an app. Like everyone's so obsessed with like developing an app, and they come in, they're like, no, like you guys got to make an app. It's like, no, like we're not making an app. Like there's enough apps. But yeah, and then if you want to talk a little bit about product development challenges, like what that is looking like what if there's an entrepreneur or a student out there that wants to start something or like develop a product, what steps have you needed to like take to do that? Because I know for myself, like whenever I think about starting a business, it's like, oh my god, like where do I start? Like what do I even do? Like how do I do this? And like if you want to talk about that a little bit, I think that could be cool.
Yeah, so in terms of the product development side, I'll share a little bit about that, and then I'll talk about like overarching things that all people should be thinking about and resources and stuff like that. In terms of our product development, we're working on validating our prototype, and from there, we're running it through trials, making sure the formula is good and everything of that nature. So before the product works as a powder, it detects the drugs and everything. It works great. Now it's just melting the plastic in the product itself into a straw and making sure that works. That's one thing we're validating right now. And that should be a few weeks out. And then once that works and it's all good, then really it's commercialization from there. Getting into the third-party manufacturing sites, we have partnerships locked down for that. So it's no problem. It's just making sure this works so that we can sell it everywhere. For other entrepreneurs looking to manufacture a product or build something for service, whatever that is, big things that you run into and things to keep mindful of is that you have to be ready to pivot at all times. There's always some key things that, we have step 1, 2, and 3, and that'll go great, and step 4 is key for the success, right? It's 1, 2, 3 has to work, and it will work, and then step 4 will just, fall into place. That's never what happens. And one thing that we were taught was every projection, or the one true thing about every projection is they're always wrong. And whether it's a timeline, financial projections, timeline for the product, whatever that is, it's always wrong, unfortunately. Yeah. And you got to be ready to pivot. Like, a manufacturing partner, everything's working good, and then boom, they go out of shop. So then you got to move. You got to go find a new partner. Or with us, our R&D facility, luckily we completed work with them, but we were going to send our trials to them to do some work on, and they closed up shop. So we were like, all right, well, what do we do? So luckily MSU has some resources that we're utilizing right now, but it's just, you got to always be ready to pivot. Think about that at all times.
I totally understand that. We pivoted the club. Like, that's why we're here podcasting. Before we were doing like guest speakers and just like things weren't really that fun or like cool. So we pivoted and started making a podcast and posting on the internet, and it's been a ton of fun. It's been way better. And there's no shame in like that either. Like stuff happens and you just got to keep going. It's like, actually we can do this. And then boom, you're good to go.
Also, to add on to that, I feel like surround yourself with people that want to help. Like our advisory board, like we have a team of 4 individuals on our advisory board that have 25 plus years of experience in financials, product development, founding their own business, and without them, I think we'd definitely be a little lost. They like to call themselves like the wet blankets because they really give it to us straight, and sometimes they tell us things we don't want to hear, but things that we have to hear in order to get this product out. So definitely surround yourself with people that want you to succeed and that are going to push you to do your best, even, you know, when you have to pivot and it sucks, but you're doing it for the right reason. So that too.
Like the advisors through the Burgess Institute?
So those people too, but also we created our own advisory board. My
Nice.
dad's one of them, his uncle, one of his old football coaches, and then MSU assigned us an advisor. And yeah, we kind of get creative freedom of who we want on that advisory board, but we picked, you know, very intellectually with who we wanted to kind of guide us and make that path for us to, you know, figure out our kinks and stuff like that. So
yeah, that's super cool. And then we can ask you some questions. Do you have any kind of marketing plan, or what type of marketing is Safety Store going to do? And like, do you have any cool plans lined up for being the CMO and all?
Yeah.
You know, do you have anything cool?
yeah, so our main strategy for marketing is digital marketing. And to give a little background on myself, I have built a following on my social medias of around like 300K on TikTok and like Instagram. So I have that experience of how to brand myself and kind of how to engage my audience. And so I'm going to take those tactics that I've learned throughout my own career and implement them into Safety Straw. So as far as strategy for our product, I want to use like influencer campaigns, ambassador programs, and then just like running paid ads and stuff like that. Just kind of the nitty gritty stuff that you have to do.
Yeah.
But as far as the influencer campaigns, I feel like we kind of have a unique position with me because I know like the other side of it. I know what an influencer wants to see in a contract when they sign with us. I know what they don't want to see in a contract when they sign with us. Things like that. So I'm going to kind of use my experience and my do's and don'ts for when we decide to bring this to influencers. And then also, I guess our three main target audiences are going to be, you know, first of all, bar owners, because we're selling B2B. We're selling to those bar owners directly. And then secondly, college age students, ages 18 to 24, because that age demographic is where our product is affecting people.
Yeah.
And then another huge audience is parents of these college students. We've gotten so much customer feedback about parents wanting to buy like 100-pack for their
kids,
for their
like
kid.
send them off to college, be like, hey, if you're drinking, use. Yeah, it just makes so much sense.
To just alleviate that stress from the parent. And one kind of crazy thing that made us realize this is that it happens in East Lansing, and I don't think people really realize it. Like just in January, there was a parent post on the MSU, like class of 2025 parent group or whatever. Like they have those parent groups all across Facebook. And one mom posted, I just want to like let everyone know I brought my daughter to Sparrow last night. Her drink was spiked. And this was in January of like this year. And then I opened the comment section of that post, and it was mothers of daughters that were like, the same thing happened to my daughter, the same thing happened to my daughter. And there was like hundreds of those comments. And that was like in East Lansing. And I don't think people realize that it happens here. And so to target that, you know, group of parents, I think that will alleviate a lot of stress sending their kids off to college. Just another thing to think about.
Yeah, that's really smart. I didn't even think about targeting parents, and they very well will be the big customers. But yeah, it is a huge problem, and it does happen in East Lansing. And like we're in Greek life, and they really talk about it a lot to us. Like when you get onboarded and we go to these different trainings and stuff, and it is a huge problem, and it's a very real thing. But you guys literally have like the perfect solution for it. So that's really cool. You said you had, and that can be cool too for your like you said, you have a big following, like even recruiting like other influencers and whatnot, and like that is really smart, like way to think about it. Like you know what these contracts want, you know what they want. Do you plan to, with your influencer campaign, do you plan on giving the influencers creative freedom, or are you gonna like write it? Because I know that's kind of a thing with it.
Yeah. So from my experience, whenever I read a contract and it's like, okay, here's the script that we want you to say, I'm like, oh, I'm not doing this.
Yeah.
Like, who wants to follow a script, and also who wants to watch a video that just seems scripted?
Mm-hmm.
So I think creative freedom's huge, to kind of let them do what they want with it. And also our product is something that's so easily integrated into an influencer's life. Like let's be real, everyone goes out if you're a college age influencer, like, so they can just easily integrate our product in their videos. Like, hey, I'm going out tonight. We got to the bar. Hey, look, they have a safety straw, or they're selling these products, and then, you know, go on.
Like one thing I like literally do not leave my house without is like my bag of safety straws, and, like putting it in their drinks.
Exactly.
Like that would be so funny.
Yeah.
I definitely agree with the creative freedom thing, and I've read about that and seen people post about it on the internet, and like brands saying like, don't do that. Like you're literally sucking the life out of the influencer. Yeah. It's like, why would you want to read some boring script you're reading off a screen? Like, no, let them be creative. Let them make a cool, funny video for you guys. We give creative freedom to all our members at GAMESMSU. If you want to make any kind of video on our account, you're more than welcome to.
Yeah, some people don't realize like how crazy strict like some brands can be with that stuff. Like I've worked with a brand before, and they're like, I send them my first draft video, and they're like, no, redo this, and also like you can't wear this, and like say this, and it's like just crazy. Sometimes the brands can just
and then like
way
10
overstep.
rounds of review later. There's
Yeah,
like the
yeah, and it's
video
like 3
that
months
have.
later. It's insane, and then the video doesn't do well, and it's like, of course it doesn't do well. No one wants to watch this.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, there's just a lot of behind the scenes stuff people don't realize. It's just crazy.
How did you start posting on the internet? Like, how did you get started? Like, I was talking to you about it earlier. Like, I'm going to become a podcaster.
Yeah.
what steps should I take to, you know, grow my Instagram and give people want to watch my podcast? Essentially.
Yeah, I guess to give a little backstory, it started in COVID when lockdown hit. I didn't even have TikTok at the beginning. I just kind of always heard my friends talking about it, and then my sister, like, she posted a video, and it like got like 10,000 likes, and I was like, oh, like that's cool, and I was like, I should download this app. Like,
yeah.
I had that little competitive edge, like my sister cannot be going viral, like I can't.
Yeah,
so I downloaded it. I started like, I posted like basketball trick shot videos.
There you go.
I was just so bored, and those went viral, and then I was like, oh crap, like this is kind of going somewhere. And then I just, you know, everyone was bored in lockdown, so I kept posting more, and then I graduated high school, transitioned from trick shot videos into like, this is what my life's like as a college student. This is what I do at MSU, and I would just post about that. So as far as advice to you, I posted so like organically, and I never had a script. I was always just being authentic.
Just doing what you want and having fun.
And having fun. I always tell my friends, like, I could care less if I have 0 followers or 50,000 followers. Like, I have these videos and then like vlogs to look back on when I'm like 50 years old. Like, I vlog every like St. Patty's Day, like those are my favorite ones. Like I'm just taking videos all day long, and we'll all sit around at the end of the day and like watch my vlog. It's kind of like family videos almost, but like it's so organic and fun. So just have fun with it. Don't try to put a script to it. And it's crazy, the videos that you don't think are gonna go viral are always the ones that
just blow
go.
up.
Yeah, like you're like, I take 10 seconds.
Maybe I'll clip this and it will go super viral. So, but yeah, that's super cool. I think that like, with what we've been doing with games and like with, you know, content creation, I agree, like the views, the likes, whatever, it doesn't matter. It's about like the process of making it and like trying to make something that, you know, is just either like, I'm trying to think of the word, like not intelligent, because our content hasn't been that intelligent. It was more like thought provoking, you know, like you can see it and you can think something about it, and whether it's positive, negative, or whatever, just, you know, trying to evoke emotion to people through like our content.
Right.
Is kind of what we've been trying to do. And our marketing strategy has been, like, we have GAMESMSU for this semester. I mentioned like we just started like posting like a lot. It was to, you know, kind of test what we were going to be able to do, if like we were going to be able to build an audience. And now like we have that proof of concept where, you know, GAMESMSU can maybe act like an influencer and hit up brands and be like, hey, like you want to post, we'll film these many like videos on our account for you, and kind of setting it up to be like the club is now like an influencer, and that money would go to the club, and the club would be able to do whatever they want with the money and set up events. Hopefully it works. We will see. And then if you guys have any startup struggles, like moments of doubt, any times you almost failed, like you mentioned like the pivot a little bit, but is there any like specific thing that was like, oh my god, like we might be cooked?
We're cooked.
There was quite a few of those moments for sure. The first moment that I had I really thought about it was when Zach and we made the company. Well, I guess before we made the company, we're like, is this possible? There's got to be someone out there that thought of this and tried it, right? me and him didn't know how to build a straw. We didn't know what chemicals we would be using or anything of that nature. And that initial thought was like, okay, we're not scientists. Mm-hmm. How the hell can we even do this? And that was one of the moments where we're like, all right, this is a great idea. We got so much good feedback on it, but it's not possible. It is possible. We're doing it. But it's just that thing where like, you got to just keep going, seek more information. You don't know what you don't know. So you got to chase that information. And how it is today, like, it's so easy to access information.
Yeah.
It's so very easy. And with another thing, like initially when we found out our R&D facility shut down, the plan.
What's R&D mean?
Research and development. Research and development.
Okay.
So.
I didn't know either.
Yeah.
It's like what you said it.
It's like R&D is going to be anything.
We continue, I'm sorry.
No, you're good. So with building a product or a formula or anything of that nature, you have to go through stages of research and development. And with this product, we had to see, all right, are there chemicals, involved? What chemicals can detect these drugs? What, are there ones that are food safe? What are we going to do? And we got in contact with a ton of research and development companies. And we were like, all right, let's meet with them. Can they do this? Does that work? And then we found one, it works. We spent a lot of money with them. And like I mentioned before, the plan was to send the product back to them for them to test it again. And we were in Missouri attending a conference, and we got an email from our R&D facility, and they're like, hey, unfortunately, we closed up shop. Good luck to you guys. Let us know if you have any questions. Exactly. So me and Zach were sitting there, and it was after a really long day, and we're like, all right, let's chill. Let's go back to the hotel and let's relax. And boom, we get that email, and we're like, all right, well, we're cooked. What do we do now? We're cooked. But that was one of those pivot moments. And then another one was recently so when developing the prototype, like typically developing a product like this takes like 4 or 5 years. And that's the feedback we've gotten from all these different manufacturers, researchers, everything. And when we tell them, hey, yeah, we'll get this product out in like from day one to maybe a year and a half from working on it. That's absolutely crazy for timeline. And when we developed the first prototype, we're like, all right, it doesn't look exactly how we want it, but maybe we can test with it.
It looks like a little worm.
Yeah, version 1 was horrible.
What color is it?
Well...
What color is it before it gets touched?
So it changes colors from like a translucent yellow, or like almost transparent yellow, to a beet red.
Okay.
So red, danger, fire, stop. It's a good color for that. But initially, that first prototype, we're like, all right, let's put it through the machine. Let's see what happens. Oh my goodness, it was horrible. So we're like, all right, we're cooked. This is not how we wanted it to turn out, but let's test it, whatever. We had some hope. We were like, all right, this might work out. We test it. It does not work. Back to the drawing board. And at that moment, we all talked together and we were like, well, what do we do now, right? There was no, we had like execution plans for if it didn't work, and if it did work, what, how would we finalize the formula for our initial product? And at that point, we're like, all right, we're cooked, right? Like, we don't have a plan. There is no plan. Yeah. Like, this was supposed to work. There's just so many of those moments where you're like, all right, this is perfect. We're being optimistic, but it should work. And you get to that point, to the testing point, and it doesn't work. And you're like, all right, well, let's go back to the drawing board again. And there's just so many of those moments where, especially with the startup, like, those pivots are crucial. You have to decide what you're going to do and where you're going to move forward with the knowledge that you have right now. And especially with the market that's developing, it's starting, there are people getting into the space that are somewhat interested. You got to move quick. So you got to have all the information at hand. You have to have the relationships with the people that you need to be working with. And that's one thing we developed early on, which was good and made us able to make these pivots very quickly. And that's the biggest thing.
It's awesome. It's really cool. Yeah, I think moving fast is the best way to do it. Even if you're like not ready, you just gotta do it. Keep going.
Exactly.
I think that can be a new segment when we have entrepreneurs on. Like, are you cooked? Like, tell us about you're cooked.
Just name the podcast Cooked.
Yeah, we could. We'll come up with a nice name for this one. I had some. Yeah, how do you guys balance like personal life, school, safety straw? Yeah, you don't balance it. Like, you just wake up and just safety straw.
You wake up and you're
day.
on the phone.
Oh boy. Do you want to start with this one?
Yeah. I guess that there is a balance. I like to be an organized person. I like to, have an old school pen to paper agenda to make sure I can balance that. But Jack and I actually always joke with each other. We're always like, it never ends. Like, it never ends. You think that you're going to have a day of relaxation. Boom, prototype doesn't work. Boom, another meeting or,
Phone's
another
ringing,
pivot.
you got to text this person back.
Yeah.
All at the same time. While you're driving.
While you have to have it organized in your mind too. Like, it's so easy for even for me, and I don't even remember, it's not even like a real business yet, but even for me, stuff slips my mind, or answering people and answering timely, that whole kind of thing can be tough. Especially it's kind of hard. We have phones, but the fact that everyone has the ability to bother you right away, and you're the one that has to answer it, that sucks.
Yeah. I in terms of balance, and one thing that I try to talk to my mentors about all the time is what's the perfect balance? There is no perfect balance. Sometimes things have to take priority over others. And I'm a very family oriented guy, so I like to talk to my family a lot and make sure they're good. And for me, I'm work full time. I've been working full time for about 1.5 years now, and working full time, I work in sales, so I have to meet certain KPIs. I have to key performance indicators. I have to meet, no, you're good. I have to meet certain targets, right, with quota, activity, stuff like that. So that is a given. I have to do that every single day. And then there's school. I got to pass my classes as best as I can. I should be getting good grades, but I just got to settle for as best as I can do. And then there's safety straw, right?
Yeah, and then there's safety straw.
Yeah, so you're working, 80 plus hours a week on everything, and it's just, there's no perfect balance. But if you're able to set a priority list of, okay, this is number one, this is number two, it gives you that structure, and it helps a lot. And then kind of when things come up, you're like, okay, I can shift the list. I can make this, I can do this in an hour when this came up, and I have to do this right now. And one thing you mentioned is keeping up with people. Working with a bunch of bar owners and our supply chain, our manufacturing team, our research and development team, our packaging and all of that nature, luckily Zach and I are able to manage all of that, pretty much, okay, hey, I have this that I need to do, you have that you need to do. I have to work all day today. Can you manage this? Oh, I have to work all day today. Can you manage this? And just, being able to adapt really quickly and knowing each role in and out, you can kind of give tasks to other people that you have to do sometimes. But like you said, keeping in contact with people
keeping
all
your network
day.
warm.
Exactly.
You gotta do it.
That's the hardest thing to do, is keeping everyone active, following up with people, making sure that they're thinking about you, because especially in sales, that's what you have to do.
Yeah.
It's all based on relationship. People don't buy from businesses, people buy from people. And if you can keep that personal relationship with them, it's amazing. It gives you everything you want in the world. But it's maintaining that. That's the biggest thing.
Yeah. I'd also say as a team, we're very action/goal oriented. I mean, we have meetings, weekly meetings where we call them action item meetings to make sure we're hitting our action items that we need to have. We have weekly, sometimes bi-weekly meetings with our advisory board to make sure that they are updated with what we're doing, and if they can give us any insight or advice on things we need to be doing differently or keep up with doing. I'd say we're pretty organized in that way too.
Staying organized is very important. I learned that over my internship when my computer got really unorganized. And, the older people, the more senior people were like, "What is this? You need to be organized." And
what's your process?
Yeah, and I'm I save it on my desktop, and then I put it in this corner, and it was just so bad. But I've gotten better at it.
It's good.
Getting organized.
It's so important.
Yeah, that's what I learned. I'm not the most organized person. I'm a little bit, but. Yeah, my computer is it's an absolute mess right now. I have way too many GAMESMSU videos saved. And then, is there, you mentioned that your co-founder, not you, the other one is one of your friends.
Mm-hmm.
You grew up with him. How has that been? Has that been hard at times, or have you guys just are so in love with Safety Straw that you guys just work all day, every single day?
Well, the working all day, every single day is a given. It has to happen just to get this to market. But with being really good friends, it's actually amazing because he knows my network of people. I know his. So it's like, all right, can you reach out to this person? And we have no problem because they all know each other and they know us. So that part's easy. The other thing is like when we have to make decisions, we can be very upfront and blunt with each other. There's zero sugar. There's negative sugar coating. Mm-hmm. It's like, all right, bro, what the hell were you thinking, man? Like we were supposed to do this and you did that. Or it's, hey, man, this was the roadmap. This was the plan. We didn't execute the plan. You should have executed the plan. And it's like a bounce back and forth. But it's very good for us to be able to talk that clearly to each other and be very blunt, because if we weren't able to do that, decision making would be a bit harder. It wouldn't be able to happen as quick. And, working in the space we do right now, we have to be quick. We have to act fast. We have to contact people really quick to stay in front of them. And if we're not able to do that, things would just take longer. But we can talk very blunt and sometimes not in the best ways, but being very direct is good.
I agree. I think that is definitely a positive to it. Like you probably talk to him like a brother, I assume.
Oh yeah.
And differently than you talk to Marcy.
Yeah. Typically.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
But
we're all blunt with each other.
Yeah.
That's good.
Which is good.
We call it a
safe space.
Exactly. When you have to say something that may be rude or anything.
Space.
Yeah,
safe
we go.
Space.
We put the hands up. It's a safe space.
Terrible idea.
Yeah, and then you say your piece.
I think that's valuable too. Like when you're like, I'm discussing things with like my friends. Like I will not take offense if you tell me I'm wrong. If you tell me my idea is stupid, it's like actually please tell me that so like I don't make it.
So I could fail quicker.
Yeah, or like I don't like when people like wouldn't like say they didn't like you were doing something, but you guys have that relationship, so he can tell you like, oh, I don't like that. But if you guys didn't, it might be like kind of tougher. You know what I mean?
Exactly. It just takes longer to figure things out, work out all the kinks, and like. If there's something that I don't like that he's doing or vice versa, it's like, oh, I gotta be, indirect about it. I have to say, hey man, I don't know if we should do that. No, I don't like that. I don't like, we should not do that. And it's just way easier.
Sweet. So cool. And then what's next for Safety Straw? You talked a little bit about the marketing. Like, where do you guys see yourself in a few months, years, days, whatever?
I mean, the next thing is validating the prototypes so that we can get to market.
Yeah.
Our plan is to get to market by the fall semester so that we can get into the hands of the universities and the bars so that when people come back to school, they have a safer, they have a safer place to go out and they can be more confident in what they're doing and their environments. Right now, we're doing that. We're raising capital right now to validate everything, spend some money on marketing, working capital, build our sales pipeline. So if you know any investors, we're willing to talk.
I was just about to plug. Invest in Safety Straw.
Yeah, you can contact Safety Straw at sales@safetystraw.org. No problem. Or support.
You got a couple bucks.
Yeah. Let us know.
Throw it our way.
So we have that. We're finalizing our website to make it go public. And then right now, in addition to all of those things, we're trying to get in contact with as many universities as possible because we want to get into the hands of those that need it most. And a big thing we're working on with MSU and a college in Missouri is we're partnering with them to provide our straws into the welcome packets for all the incoming students.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, so every student can have, when they, walk into the dorms, they can have a box of, 10, 20 safety straws that they can take and use.
Safer welcome week for them.
Exactly. So that's one thing we're focusing on and trying to find new events that we can just get our name out there.
Yeah, like hopping on the pod.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. I was super down to have you guys. And then what about like personally? Like what do you guys got going on this summer? Stuff like that? Anything cool? Going anywhere cool or no?
This summer I'm working full time for Safety Straw. So
there you go.
Yeah. Working on our marketing campaign and helping out where I can. I've also learned too that like my job just is not marketing. There's a lot of things that I've been learning. I wish I was more science brain oriented, but I'm not, so I could help more with the prototype, but that's okay. I'm learning a lot of verbiage and stuff that I didn't know before, so just helping out where I can. I don't really have any big fun plans for this summer. Just work and
I have no fun plans.
See where it takes us. I feel like there's always some days where there's an opportunity that presents itself, and before we know it, we're booking a flight and going there. So who knows what's going to happen this summer? And
yeah, for me, like what she said, just working full time with everything, doing as much as I possibly can just to build and get this thing out there and develop the network, everything. A lot of family time though. Being up at school, living an hour or so away from family, I like to see them a lot, like to stay connected. So I'll be spending a lot of time with the fam. And fun things that I have going on, not too sure. Usually I'm like a last minute guy. So it's like, oh, there's this thing this weekend. Oh, it's in 2 days. Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
And so I'm sure there'll be a lot of things out there like that. I know a planned trip to go to Hawken Hills. I don't know if you've ever been there. It's
I love that.
In Ohio?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the caves. Absolutely love it. I'll be going there, I don't know, I think at the end of this month. And then I have a few like up north trips.
There you go. Up north Michigan's the best. Are you from Michigan?
Yeah, I'm from Holland, Michigan, so the west side.
Oh, okay, nice. Yeah, that Holland's super nice. Saugatuck's super nice.
Yeah.
I play golf over there
Yeah.
sometimes. I'm
a lot of golf.
Yeah,
He's
yeah,
golfing in my hometown next weekend. Or
Something like
next
that.
week.
It's on the calendar.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah, the golf trips around Michigan are super good. I'm moving to Ohio a week from tomorrow. It should be cool.
Wow.
Oh.
Yeah.
Good luck. What parts?
Put-in Bay, Ohio.
Okay.
It's the island out there.
Yeah.
Nice.
I work at a yacht club.
Nice.
I'll be a dock master, docking boats.
Oh, yeah.
In no time, so I'll
The
be
dock master.
Yeah, I'm a dock master. I got a crew of dock boys. Tell them, no, put that boat there, whatever.
Yeah.
Talk
Let's
master.
go.
Yeah,
Sweet.
dock master Dom. That's what people call me.
Okay.
And then we have some more lighthearted questions, and it is which bar in East Lansing needs safety straw the most, and why is it Harper's?
I would say, so in the business we work, I would say every bar needs it. Every bar needs it as every other does. We have to create safer, more confident environments for, the people within the city and every other city. Harper's is a great place.
It is a great place.
We need to build every environment safer, and however we can do that, we will. So yeah, we just got to get into every location possible, create safer environments, and we got to create a safer city, right? East Lansing is a huge college town, a lot of college students. They're everywhere, and they do everything, and they're literally out way too late, and I have done that before, so, but you got to just create a safer, more confident space, and especially in the city, we have to do that as best as we can, and we're just trying to get this
It's
moving.
an awesome answer. Very, very safe.
Okay.
And then if you have a one-sentence pitch for the straw that you have to give to Rick's, not the owners of Rick's, the dance floor of Rick's. One sentence. Why safety straw? What is the sentence? Your one-sentence pitch.
Okay. I would say if I was talking to Rick's dance floor.
Sticky dance floor.
Yeah,
The
very
sticky
sticky.
Ricks.
Every time my shoes are sticky. Why spend, a little bit on each straw when you can spend a little bit more to create a safer, more confident, nightlife environment for everyone that walks in the door?
Hell yeah. It's really good sentence. Everyone that walks in the door really sold me. And then what would be another campus safety invention that we could come up with really quick? It's a bit of an ideation one, but I don't know. I was thinking about this on the question. I thought it was cool because then we can come up with, and maybe someone watches this and then they'll start.
They run with the idea.
Yeah.
Can we just make something about parking?
Oh my God! Everyone talks about parking on the pod.
What's that?
It's the worst. We made a bunch of anti-parking ads, anti-pace ads with ChatGPT, and they were super funny. They're on our
Oh, that's
Instagram.
awesome.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, either something for parking or in terms of safety, like have a self-reported app that every student downloads when they're a new student at MSU. They download this app, and if they see anything suspicious or, you know, something that makes them uncomfortable or anything, like a self-reported like forum or something like that, to where they can say, hey, I'm at Brody and I saw this, it was a little suspicious, just keep your eyes open. Maybe something like that would help.
I think that's good. Also, I've realized too that a lot of people don't like to just air out what's happened to them or how they're actually feeling, which I get it. Like a lot of these stories, people don't like to share with other people, which I completely get it. That's totally understandable. So yeah, I mean, something like that where it's anonymous too. And
yeah, they could integrate that into the MSU app.
Yeah.
The forum, like that's actually a really good idea that we just came up with.
Yeah,
MSU should do it.
MSU, you should be listening.
Do it, MSU. I'm trying to think about what I would do to make the campus safer. And I would probably, like you said, with parking, because
that's for my mental sanity.
Yeah, I mean, it would be safer because like we'll all be, our mental health will be so much
Happier.
better. Yeah, and we'll have more money, so we won't be starving because Pace took all our money. Well, it would be like on Apple Maps, how there's like the speed check ahead, like
Ooh,
when
save
you
me.
yeah, like every single phone, it would like you'd be able to track where Pace is and what time, and they have a schedule, and you know it's
That's
essentially an app that stalks Pace.
I'm always looking for them when I park. I'm
Yeah.
always like,
Yeah, I would say like one thing that MSU needs to change is they need to reduce their ticket amounts.
Oh my gosh.
Like back when I was a freshman, I never paid for parking because I got a ticket like every 12 times I parked. So the math worked. If I paid a $10 ticket,
Yeah,
it's fine. But now
they're like
I'll
$40.
I'll pay $40. You guys need $40 that bad? This
What
is
are
crazy.
you using the money for too?
We pay
like,
so
I
much in
don't see this
tuition.
money. Where's this money going?
Yeah, like building the new facilities. I
Everyone
don't
comes
know.
on the pod and talks about parking. You have to. It's like it's in MSU. Like if every single student that is coming on our podcast is telling you to fix the parking, fix the parking. Like that's what
It's
everyone
ridiculous.
has to say.
It's ridiculous. It's a multi-million-dollar business. Parking at MSU.
Literally is a
Base.
multi-million. Because I graduate tomorrow and I don't have much shame in anything that I really say on the podcast anymore. I had got so many parking tickets and I forgot to pay one of them, and then they put a bench warrant out for my arrest. And it was
That's
not
horrible.
good. Yeah, so like I literally almost got arrested because I forgot to pay a parking ticket. And East Lansing, like they want to send me to jail for not paying parking, but like they can't
Oh
stop
my
this.
gosh.
They can't stop the Games
insane.
podcast.
It's a broken system.
It's
This
broken.
is
Yeah, and like we talked about this a little bit earlier. I think that safety straws should literally just be at every single bar, and the patrons shouldn't have to pay any extra for it. Like it should come out of what the bar is making. It's freaking $6 for a beer. Like, give me better straws, please.
Also, one thing I don't think we touched on and not a lot of people know about, some states are making it mandatory for establishments that sell liquor to have some type of safety like detection device.
It should
and
be
our
mandatory.
straw, if this restaurant or bar just adopts our straw into their establishment, then like boom, they're good. They don't need a different detection device. They can just adopt our straws and like there you're done. So like California is going through it right now. What's the other one?
Yeah, you guys can get some like
Massachusetts.
government contracts on
Yeah,
this.
we're working with Michigan and North Carolina senators to get it passed in those states too.
Wow.
So,
Well, I am
thanks.
truly honored to have you guys on the podcast. When you guys are super famous and super rich and safety straws everywhere, remember the GAMESMSU podcast.
We will.
The
for what
Doc
it is.
Master.
Yes, with the Doc Master. And then, so we'll start closing out right now. What advice would you guys give to students about starting something? What advice would you give to me about trying to get famous podcaster on the internet? And what advice do you got for us?
I would just say, like anything in life, you're going to get out what you put in. If you put 110% effort, you're going to get 110% output on that effort. If you give 50%, that's what you're going to see in your, solution. So you get out what you put in and surround yourself with people that want to see you succeed. I think that's what we've done. We've done a good job of doing that, and so we have a really good group around us. Then I guess for yourself, just be authentic, have fun. If you have fun, you'll never work a day in your life. So
Bet.
keep up.
Yeah, I would say for student entrepreneurs, and I said this earlier, you don't know what you don't know. You have to go out there and seek the information. And one thing we all heard in high school, oh, it's not the teacher, it's the student's willingness to learn. That is so true. Everyone that told you that early on in your life, yeah, you're like, oh yeah, whatever, okay. But it's so real. It's so real. If you want to accomplish something, you have to learn it. You have to embody it. You have to be it. So if you're coming up with a service or an app or a product, whatever that may be, yeah, you know for sure that you have the idea, but you don't know how to execute it. You have to learn how to execute it. You have to connect with individuals and grow your network. It's not what you know, it's about who you know that knows you, right? It's the people will get you there, but you have to put in the work and learn as much as possible to actually launch it. So learn as much as you can, put all the effort you can in it, and get people to work around you that you want to become. Surround yourself with individuals that either are doing what you want to accomplish, are almost there, or have lived this amazing life that you wish to have. You have to surround yourself with those people, and you will naturally get smarter. You'll naturally get more successful. So surround yourself with the best individuals and learn as much as possible.
That's awesome. Yeah, I think like you got to be willing to admit like you don't know anything. Like being like I don't know. Like is so like valuable, and I think that a lot of people like aren't able to do that, and it does like really hold them back because you don't like you can't learn if you aren't willing to be like, oh, like I don't know. Or like being able to like challenge your own previous beliefs or thoughts is a really valuable skill. It's something that I've been growing in. And my advice, if anyone cares, is that you know, people like think of the world and as what people are doing is almost incompetent in a way. Like you guys said earlier, like, oh, like why isn't this a thing yet? Like, once you realize that, it's like, yeah, like these people are incompetent. Like Flint doesn't have clean water. Like there could be a lot better systems in place around the university. Like those systems can obviously be improved, and our university is an amazing university. But thinking about things as if they are inherently like a little bit incompetent and you know how to improve them will really able to like act in confidence and like do more things because you're like, oh no, I know a way, and trust your way. And yeah, that's what I've been doing. That's what I got going on.
Yeah, it's very important that you do that.
Yeah, and I also think like, you know, everyone will have an opinion, and like people will tell you like to do one thing with your business, and every single person will tell you something different. Mm-hmm. Like that's what I found kind of tough as I was doing this stuff, is like I would try and listen to someone, but they tell me one thing, and then I talk to someone else and they tell me another, and then I'm like, oh my god, like how am I supposed to listen to you all? But you just need to trust yourself, and take all their advice before you take mine.
Yeah, and another, like you touched on it, and it's very important that you do that. Like us developing a straw, we've talked to hundreds of thousands of people about it, and it's like, hey, this is our idea, this is what we're gonna do, and then everyone and their mother is like, oh, you should do this, you should do that. Well, you know, great feedback, thank you, but you know what you want to do. Yeah, you know what you want to do, and if it's someone with industry expertise or someone you want to become, all right, you're going to take that feedback a little bit differently. But you're the one with the idea. You're the one pursuing this business. So you got to know to filter out what feedback you don't want and what will actually push you further. So it's very important that you have that filter as well.
Yeah, our advisors tell us, like, we're the ones in the driver's seat. Like, ultimately, everyone else is just passengers in the car, but, like, we're in the driver's seat. So,
yeah,
think about too.
Kind of badass. Think of it that way. And then, yeah, where can we follow you? Where can we see this eventually when the product is developed? Where are they going to buy it? And when people come back to this, like 5 years later, and they see how rich and famous you all are, like, plug them. You know, talk about your socials, what they can do, what people can do. We already talked a little bit about investing, but yeah.
Yeah, our Instagram handle is @SafetyStrawInc. And then every other social media app, our handle is just normal @SafetyStraw. And then we're building our website. We're in that process right now, which is safetystraw.org.
Nice.
So once that's out,
nice domain.
We'll have a bunch of resources on there and more backstory about, you know, how we came about, resources for people if they did experience drink spiking, how can we get these straws into bars' hands. So our website will really have a lot of resources. But yeah, we're available on all social media apps with Safety Straw. So yeah.
And if you want to support our cause on that website, we are developing merch right now.
Yeah.
Hey, I was pissed you guys didn't bring me any merch.
We don't have any. These are samples.
We have stickers.
We do
And
have stickers
koozies.
and koozies.
There we go.
yes.
There we go.
And soon hats.
Follow GAMESMSU, follow Games Nationals. We're going to post this podcast on GAMESMSU YouTube as well as Games Nationals YouTube.
Sweet.
And we're going to clip it up so you'll see it on your Instagram feed more times than you probably want to. And
collaborate with us. Like we'll do a collab.
okay, but yeah, I'll do a post.
Mutually beneficial.
Yeah, but every single one of them I will try and,
Yes.
what's it called? Do a post them. I'll try and do as many
Let's
as
do it.
possible. But yeah, so follow Games MSU, follow Games U Mich, follow Games Nationals, and yeah, give them one of these, and that's all for the pod.
Hang loose.
Thank you guys.